So, because there's so many of us on, let's try and give each other room to talk, yeah?
Jonny, we're just going live, mate, all right?
Okay.
Yeah. Evening, gents. This is Nick Dunks, TFSL Friday. Cool, we're joined with a great lineup tonight. We're joined, obviously, by Mick and Jonny. How you doing, Mick?
I don't know, mate. You all right?
Yeah, all good, mate. How you, Jonny, all right?
All right, Dunks. Happy Christmas, mate.
Happy Christmas, mate. Hope you had a good one. Then we're joined by Rob Harris, believe it or not. How you doing,
Hello,
Rob?
thanks. Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Tell us where you are, Rob.
I'm in Thailand.
Thailand. Great stuff, mate. And then we're joined by Kev. Kev Wright. How you doing, Kev?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thanks. I'm just on an island, not Thailand, but just a little island where I'm from.
Then we're joined by Richie. How you doing, Richie? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Yeah. Right, lads. So we're going to kick off with the main news. It's been breaking while I'm at work. Yusuf's been sacked at Chelsea. So it's big news. We can't look past it. It'll take up a little bit of time, this one. Let's get your views first then. We're going to start with you, Richie. What's your views on it, mate?
I think it's good for the game world. He's a nice guy, but I mean, he's just not active enough. I mean, he wasn't replying to loans. I mean, you can't have that at a top club. I mean, that you might get away with that with the lower leagues, but at a top club, you need everyone on the ball. So I think it's a good day for the game world.
Yeah. Kev?
Yeah, was he sacked or did he quit? Or
He was sacked.
He was sacked. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. He is a nice guy. I chat to him a fair bit, but looking at his team, I went through his team earlier on today, and he hasn't really made a lot of transfers or anything like that. I mean, there's been next to nothing done since brought in Alderweireld. That's about it. So obviously doesn't have the time to focus on doing it at the moment. So I think it's fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Rob?
Yeah, just echo what Richie said, and I alluded to it in a video I did today as well. Yeah.
Okay, Mick?
Rob, just before we go on to Yusuf, you're in Thailand. I did warn you earlier on in the programme about them ladyboys, yeah? I hope you've taken note. But are you filling your boots, mate? Are you filling your boots?
Mick, yet again, you go right off subject. I'm in a relationship now, Mick. Not that this is anything to do with this.
I just thought, when in Rome, you do as the Romans do. But anyway.
No, mate, I don't go picking up ladyboys. You are obsessed with ladyboys. What is all that about? There's something you want to tell us, Mick?
But back
is this a
to you.
Thing? Am I missing something? Is this a Yorkshire Barnsley?
I don't know. I was just putting that question out there for you, pal. You know what I mean?
And they're not ladies. They're just men with breasts. That's all.
Okay. So you've tried one? How do you know the name of that? Have you tried one?
No, I haven't tried one, Mick. But I think you've been doing a bit of reading up on it. So maybe you need to go and try one for yourself. Right. It's on your mind, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. I wouldn't mind trying one. Anyway, back to you.
Let's get back on track then.
Jesus Christ, man.
Back to you,
some shows, isn't it?
Back to Yusuf. I think he's a good manager, and he did say something about him being busy in life. But I think going back to what Richie said earlier, if you're that busy in life that you can't put your time in, then go and choose a game world where you can play it at your leisure. You know, he does know what he signs up to, like everybody does, and it does require a bit of commitment. If you can't go do that commitment, there's no animosity about it, but, you have to take a step back.
Yeah. Right, Jonny, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, he seems an all right manager, but he's just not active. I just think timing's a bit out though. I feel sorry for James a little bit because it's going to be a merry-go-round again now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's not great timing, is it? But at the same time, I
think it's great timing, lads. You've got a manager who's inactive out. A new manager's going to come in at a premium club before a ball's kicked.
I agree.
Yeah, but that manager who takes his job has already bought all his players in for that team.
Well, no, Yusuf hasn't bought anyone.
No. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right, that Mark Stewart goes for it, right, and gets it. He's bought all his players in at Derby for this season. So whoever takes over Derby has got Mark Stewart's players.
Yeah, but I don't see that as a negative, Johnny. I see that Derby will be an upgrade for someone else going into it. I think it's win-win-win across the board.
Rob, I agree with you 100%. I mean, whoever takes Chelsea job, we've talked about things like this earlier. If you don't like the team and you don't like what you're taking over, don't apply. You know, and it's same with whoever's applying for Chelsea job, don't apply if you don't like it. If you don't like Derby job, don't apply. But that's the team.
There'll be plenty of people that will say hypothetically Mark Stewart gets it, right? Which I think he's got a very good chance. There's going to be plenty of people fancy Derby. Derby will be a massive upgrade on a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is a week ago they might have had £50 million to spend, whereas now they won't.
Yeah, of course, Johnny. But life's not perfect. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture is we've lost an inactive manager, and a premium club in TFSL is about to get a top-notch manager. This is only a good thing for this game world.
Well, my opinion on it, I'll have my say. My opinion is that it's not great timing. I think it could have been done a week earlier. But it's good for the game world, which is good. But you've got to have the right managers in at the top jobs right from the off. This is critical, in a game world. And so we're going from season 2, and something's happening, which is good. Great for the game world. So I'm pleased. But there's other guys out there, need to have a look at themselves as well. This should be an example to a lot of managers out there.
Let's name them.
This is the standard being set. Other managers need to have a look at themselves as well.
Name them, Dunks.
Okay. Well, I'll probably go on to that in round 2.
Dunks, before we get on to naming people, can I just say, whoever takes over at Chelsea, by the way, there must be money there, because the only person I can see that Chelsea have bought recently is Alderweireld, and they must have more money than that, because they would have sold a load of players because they had all those loans, players they couldn't recall.
Yep, I agree, Kev. I had a look at Chelsea and they haven't spent much.
No.
And, a lot of the winnings must still be there.
I'll try and check that. I'll try and check. Give me a second. Yeah, they've got 8.8 million.
How much?
8.8 million.
Oh, so not as much as I thought. Okay.
Oh, a lot, is it? No,
I thought I'd expect.
Yeah, you know why? Because Chelsea only got a 40,000 stadium, and they pay about 2 point whatever in wages.
Yeah, good. Right, so we've spoke about that now. Let's talk about the candidates next then. Like I say, I've just come in from work to this news, lads. Kev, you've got them in front of you, haven't you?
I will. Yeah, just.
Who's applied, mate?
Who's applied? Well, Richie's applied.
Yeah.
So we can hear from him about it in a minute. Scott Thomas at Leeds. Mark Rowlands, he's at Stoke, isn't he? Kevin Otham, forgotten who he manages now. Wolves. Antonio Pardell. Again, I'm trying to get. Anyway, Noisy's applied. He's Millwall. Mark Stewart's applied. He's Derby. Gareth Crisp, is he Palace?
Notts Forest.
Notts Forest. Sorry, yeah, he's Palace in a different league. And that's about it. Yeah, Antonio Pardell's the other one, and we don't know who's managing. I'm just gonna. Oh, he's Livingston.
One more question: how long's what's the deadline on applying?
Tomorrow, 8 p.m.
Saturday, 8.
Yeah. So there could be a big, massive list by that point. And some of these lads applying have surely got to have a look at themselves. Everyone's entitled to apply, but for the best thing for the game world, you've got to have the right people applying, and some of them guys for me don't cut it. What's your thoughts on that, Johnny? Go to you first.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. At least it'll make James chuckle in the morning when he logs on and sees who's applied, won't it? Give him something to laugh about, won't it?
Yeah. Mick?
I think James will sort it out. I think he's, for want of a better word, he's an hard-nosed guy. He'll shoot from the. If they're not good enough or they haven't got it, he'll tell them. It's people like me that are a little bit soft at heart that don't like saying no to anybody that has a problem. But I don't think James will have that problem. You know, and like I say, I've been impressed all season. We've talked, me and Jonny, about Newcastle manager. I know he's not throwing his hat in, but I mean, we know some of these managers from other game world, and I know what Richie can do. He can bust a gut and tear any team apart. You know, he's set up recently with Blackburn, but there's certain few managers in chat, and I think Richie's in chat, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll talk to Richie later because obviously he's applied for it. Kev?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look because some people have applied on Facebook. I think Gordon's applied as well, the Celtic manager. But looking at the list we've got, it's unlikely that you're going to sort of jump up 3 or 4 divisions or whatever it is. So out of the candidates, yeah, Noisy's done well, but he's already has he had a full season yet at a club? I don't think he has.
No, he's not. No.
Gordon's not Celtic manager neither.
And
Jonny McKenna's Celtic manager.
Who am I getting?
Gordon Jablonski, is it? Or...
Kev, it's the TFSL show, mate.
Right. But yeah, I think there's a few clubs who haven't had a few managers who haven't had full seasons yet, or have already moved. Was Gareth Nottingham Forest manager to start with?
No.
Yeah, he's moved already. I think.
Yeah, Rob. What's your thoughts, Rob?
What's my thoughts on the people
that
have
applied so far?
Well, you got 1 or 2 very good candidates, and then the others are having a laugh.
Yeah.
No, I've said this time and again. I've said this. I'm going to upset so many people, but honestly, mate, these people, just the brass balls, the cheek of it. Like, you got managers that have been relegated. You got managers in Division 4. You got managers that have just joined the game world. You've got managers that are on about their 27th club. It's ridiculous, all of them. I honestly, there's about 2 or 3 serious candidates there, and James will pick the right guy, and the others are just wasting time. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with that.
I'm not upset anyone here, Mick. It's they're wasting their time, even putting their name in the hat.
I mean, it's like that Ross. Yeah, it's like that Ross Darlington. We've just said if he'd just bloody be more active, he's done the business in the league with Newcastle, but you can't even consider him. And there's a lot of these guys on list that are exactly the same, Rob. Because
Ross has just put his name in, by the way. Ross has put his name in, but he said, well, no, he's left a message and he said he's not interested, by the way. So, yeah, he's mentioned that he's not putting his name in.
I mean, it's live from somewhere, is he, or what? Hey?
He's what, sorry?
Is he watching us live? Is he listening to what we're saying?
He is, yeah.
Right, Rich, we'll go on to you, mate. You're free naming, yeah? What you got to say on it, mate?
Straight away when I saw the job come up, I thought Richie, Mark Stewart. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. One of them 2 have to get it. If they applied, that is. But if they never applied, then I thought, why not just throw your name in? Do you know what I mean? You never know. And the people, some of the people I saw going for it, I didn't think they were the best. I thought I could do as good a job as what they could. So why not? But now Mark Stewart's gone for it. I'd be more than delighted to lose to him. Do you know what I mean? He's done fantastic at Derby, and he deserves it.
And at the end of the day, Richie, he has served his apprenticeship on TFSL. You know what I mean? He's
definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just jumped into game world. There'll be time, I'm sure, in future for other people like yourself.
I'd like to put this question to all the managers that have applied. Right? They can see that Mark Stewart has applied for that job. Would they give the Chelsea job to themselves over Mark Stewart? I'm just going to flip it round. I want them to put themselves in the shoes of James, the game world owner, and what would they do? Do they seriously, genuinely think that they're in with a shout?
No.
Because I'm sitting here, I can't take it seriously. So, you know, and if
he puts the time, Robbie puts the time in socially. He's done fantastic at club his way.
He just won the 2 title. He won the Division 2 title by Kansas.
Yeah.
Can I just throw something in as well?
Go on, Johnny.
His apprenticeship. Sorry, Johnny.
He had chance to go to Tottenham as well, and he turned that down.
Yeah, but that's fair enough. He was wanting to win the league with Derby. I understand.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a feather in his cap. He had the chance to jump to Tottenham, and he didn't think it was the right time.
Yeah,
but now, obviously, he thinks he's finished it, taking Derby up, and he's got a chance at Chelsea now. So I think that's credit to he saw his task through. You know what I mean? So
what I think is with a lot of these guys, I'm not sure if they've ever played in real top game worlds before, and they're not quite understanding how it works. This isn't just some crappy little standard game world where you chuck your name in like it's confetti. You know, there's a process, and there are premium jobs, and you've got to earn the right to get these premium.
And do you know something, Rob?
Yeah.
When if or it's not my decision, but if Mark Stewart gets it and James chooses him, yeah. Do you know that job at Derby? Is it Derby? Is it? It is.
Yeah.
There'll be a long list of managers wanting that because team is built there is excellent anyway.
Yeah, you'd hope so. It's an upgrade on many people, and it's a more logical step. It's not logical to go from the dog and the duck to Chelsea. A lot of these guys need to wake up. They're off their rockers, some of these people. Honestly, I want to call a lot of them out, to be honest. Honestly. And if we, after this video has gone out, and any of them have got a problem with what I'm saying, let's have it, because they're absolutely off their rockers.
Newski is going to be mental tomorrow.
I don't care, Johnny. I'm fed up with some of these jokers. We had all this with Tottenham. We've got people getting relegated. Oh, I'll go in for a Champions League team. Dreamer. Honestly, it winds me right up. I was punching walls earlier. Seriously. It winds me up, these people.
No Champions League, I don't think.
Have these people no shame? They're piss takers, mate. Clowns.
Right.
Give the job to... Mark Stewart will get that job, and if he doesn't, I'll be amazed.
Rob's just answered this question, but I'm going to go around now. Who do you want to see Chelsea manager, Mick? Who would you like to see? Maybe they're not put a name in the hat yet. Anyone. Who would you pick in this game world to be the Chelsea manager?
I think, like everybody says, it's activity and effort he puts in. There's a number of things that's involved, and I think Mark Stewart ticks all boxes. He's successful as a manager. He's socially active. He's running his own little what is it called, tea party. Mm-hmm. Gareth, I respect as a manager. I'd like him to be, and also Ross Darlington. I think he's done great things at Newcastle, but he's just not active enough. And for me, I hate to agree with Rob, but I think Mark Stewart ticks all boxes for me too.
Jonny?
Yeah, you just can't see past Mark Stewart for his activeness. There's some damn good managers in League One, but they're just not active. You know, I've said before, Southampton, Leicester, Cardiff manager. How Cardiff manager kept Cardiff in league, I just don't know. But they're just not active.
None of you think Anthony Wright is worth a shout then?
I was going to say, when you got to me, I was going to say either Anthony Wright should be one of the obvious candidates if he puts his name in, which he hasn't.
Yeah, he's not applied much.
No, but I said anyone who hasn't applied yet. That was my question. So
I was wondering about Jonny, actually, because obviously he's not doing very well. He's lost tonight in the Charity Shield to little old Huddersfield. Wondering if you wanted to step down a club or two, Jonny.
You got anything to say on that, Jonny? Right.
No comment.
You should have told me to F off there. That was only taking...
Too polite for that, Kev.
All right, so we'll continue. Kev, who did you pick, mate? Who would your pick be? Mark or Richie would be. They're the obvious choices, I know, but neither of them have been at big clubs. Derby weren't Division 2 favourites at the start.
Can I just throw some out there?
Yeah.
What about James himself? I mean, he had a decent season for Norwich.
Yeah.
He's active.
Yeah.
No.
It's a good shout, but I'm not sure he fancies it.
No.
Good shout.
I don't think he'd go for it anyway.
He wouldn't. And I know I spoke to James, and James is a squad builder, and so's Daniel Hughes, and so's Gerrard, and managers like this. They're not right for Chelsea. You need someone to come in who's got the right approach.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't got time to sit there and make the team look pretty and buy lots of risers and add value. What Chelsea don't need value. They've got a £500 million squad. Chelsea need someone to go in and hit the ground running and get them challenging right now. They need an instant manager.
Rob, I mean, you know, you're not you're rolling out, you're saying or not, but you look at guys that's come on this show tonight. You know, there's yourselves, there's Richie, there's Kev, that are all active managers socially, very active in other game worlds and in this. You know, and like I said, there's 3 boxes in my view that you've got to tick. You know, and I know Richie's not been in this game world long, and it's probably a quick step suddenly for him. And I'm sure that there'll be opportunities come up later on that he'll jump on. And same with you saying, you seem not interested in moving forward. Why is that?
It's just moved, you plonker.
Oh,
me? I've just
Rob.
I know, but I'm not being funny, but a sideways move. I'm on about like moving up because you had a quality manager. You know how to.
No, Mick. Look, Mick. With regards to Richie, I agree with you. I even told Richie tonight to go for it. Richie wasn't. Yeah. Let's be honest, Richie. You weren't even that fussed, were you? First.
Nah, like I said, I wanted Roach, Mark Stewart to get it. I said straight away. That's why I wanted to get it.
When you see so many other people going for it, it would be good for the game world. If Mark or Roachy didn't want to go for it, then I think Richie is the logical choice. Gareth, Crisp and Noisy are very good managers, but they've already had 2 clubs. You can't have a 3rd club in one season.
No.
And that would be the same for me. And also, as I said to you, I like sitting back in Division 4 for now, although now that I'm not doing all the social stuff as much, it might be a possibility in the future. But like you say, Mick, the boxes that need ticking, you need to be a good manager. It's about results with the top teams. You need to be socially active as well. You can't have a situation where you're never posting, you're not replying to loan requests and all the rest of it. It's just unacceptable. It's a premium club in an absolute top game world. Yusuf had to go. It's a no-brainer. And so now it's the ideal time to pick the right person. But
I mean, like I said, there's
some of the people applying for it are not suitable.
There's lots of guys on this show tonight, Rob, that, you know, they've only just, and it's the first club and they've moved in, you know, not from beginning, but it's a short apprenticeship. But what I'm saying is, you know, maybe it's a little bit soon to be pushing them into top when there's such as Mark Stewart being here and you know what I mean? But
Mick, I honestly think 99.9% of the game world, if we're saying that Roachy's not applying, if Roachy's not applying, and I think 99 point whatever are going to just say, yeah, Mark Stewart's the standout. Yeah. And if Roachy did apply, then it's both of them are excellent candidates.
Yeah, you've just then James has got to look at squad that has been built for longevity at that team. You know, and look
why?
What do you mean why?
But to get the Chelsea job.
Yeah. Well, what team have they built in clubs they've already been in? Have they built a team that can move forward and is young, or have they built a team built for success that's...
Well, you look at Mark Stewart and Anthony Roach, they're winners. They're winners. So straight away, they would be suitable for Chelsea. People like James are not suitable for Chelsea.
Do you think we're talking a bit early then, Rob? And do you think there's going to be other managers after this show's aired that are going to throw their hats in? And we're a bit premature?
Yeah, I'll wake up in the morning and Donald Duck and Woody Woodpecker have applied for the job.
Craig applies on Facebook. I've been waiting for that. He hasn't done yet, but I'll check Facebook in a minute. I'd love it if Craig applied.
I'll be honest, if my nan hasn't applied by tomorrow morning, I'll be surprised. It's getting stupid.
Right, lads, we're going to move away from Chelsea now.
For that.
Right, we're going to discuss now. We're going to have a look through the divisions, but only very briefly, because everyone's building their team ready for Sunday. But I'm going to start with Division 1. Who's your top 3 this season? We'll go with you, Rob. Who's your top 3 this season in Division 1?
Well, I did this in the video today, and Mick, sorry, mate, but I've ruled you out. And,
What, in top 3?
Yeah, I just think you're better suited. I think you're a squad builder as well. And I said, have you seen my video today, Mick?
I have seen part in it. Yes.
But basically, Mick, he said, I haven't got a chance and you haven't got a chance. He had a pop at both of us, said we were rubbish, basically.
I didn't have a pop at you, Kev, but
No, I know. But you said I'm not going up. And you said Mick isn't getting in the top 4.
not in my opinion. No.
No.
But anyway, back to the question. It's going to be, I couldn't decide between Liverpool and Man City. It's a toss of a coin. And I think Tom will just get Spurs in 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I'll get 3rd.
Richie, who do you think, mate? Top 3?
Obviously, City again. Liverpool are going to be up there. I actually think Liverpool might win the title. The only reason I say that is because every other game world I've been in, City always win it the first season and they struggle the second season. So, but they
haven't got me controlling them, have they?
That's a very good point, Jonny. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Johnny, how'd you get on tonight, mate?
I didn't play tonight, did I? I am not set my squad up for a game, have I?
You were in Bridlington with me, Johnny. That's your excuse.
Yeah.
Go on then, Richie. Carry on. Who's 3rd, mate?
I'll go for... Actually, I'm going to go for Chelsea, thinking that either Mark Stewart's going to get it, Wright. So 2 quality managers, and they'll get results straight away. So I'll go for Chelsea up there as well.
Good show. Yeah. Kev?
I'm actually going to go... It is going to be tight between Liverpool and City. I think most people are going for them as the top 2, and I'm actually going to go for Arsenal for 3rd. I think Chelsea need a lot of work. So he's going to have to, whoever takes over is going to have to look at what players are out there and get them in. Spurs look a bit weak at the back, but I think again they're still doing business. There's have they just signed Gomez or brought Gomez?
They got rid of Gomez.
They got rid of Gomez. Yeah, well, that's another defensive player gone. So I think Spurs maybe 4th. I think top 3, City and Liverpool one way or the other, and then Arsenal 3rd.
Nick?
I'm sorry, Johnny, but I actually think Liverpool, we've given him a kick up arse, old Walters, and I think he'll get a really good run for your money. I predict City coming 2nd this year. And I know I'm blowing smoke up my own arse, but I think I'll come 3rd. I've got another signing to come in. I've just over 20 million in bank. I've got a deal gone through in last couple of days which is another like 4 million for Patterson. I've got Willock waiting for a transfer, and I will be getting one top line signing done before first couple of games of the season. And I think it might be, it's just for squad balance, but I think it'll be a game changer for me.
Good stuff, Nick. Johnny, go on then.
So he's just said that I'm finishing 2nd. Did he just say that? Yeah.
Yeah, he did, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll go Arsenal bottom 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going. I think Liverpool's strength of the squad. They've brought some 90s and 91s in, and so instead of the second string side being 88s, 87s, the 90s, 91s, now it's going to push me that way. I think it's going to be close. I think if Chelsea get a good manager in, they're going to be up there. I think Arsenal will be up there. So I think it'll be between Arsenal and Chelsea for 3rd, and then 1st or 2nd for myself or Phil at Liverpool.
I think Tottenham are getting to a stage where they've got a good first team, and I saw Tom. Is it Tom? I saw him put his first team up on link today, and it looked excellent. And then
Tottenham's done what Liverpool and Man United did first season. They did lots and lots of 2-for-1s, and they've got a brilliant 1 to 11. But then they're going to struggle after that.
Yeah, he put his starting 11 up on Facebook, Tom, and it looks excellent. Don't get me wrong, Coquet and this, that, other, and it looked absolute well beat. It could beat Jonny and anybody. But I think once you dig deeper into cups and league and shield and everything else, and you're getting injuries, I think once you look past veneer, I think he's struggling for depth, and I think he'll really toll once season gets mid-season. And he starts injuries taking the and fitness, and I think that's why Tottenham will fall away. Myself personally.
Right, I'm going to say my top three. I think I've been watching Jonny. I think he's added depth, even more depth to the squad. And I think if he focuses on the league and forgets about the cups, he's going to win this easy again. That's my personal opinion. I'm going to go for Liverpool and Chelsea. I can't pick because I think if Mark Stewart, Richie or Rich, any of them three come in, they're going to be a formidable force as well. So I wouldn't like to call it. Right, we'll move on to Division 2, lads. Again, same question. Top three. We'll start with you, Kev.
I thought you might. This is going to be too tough to call. I've had a quick look. I've not checked every squad yet, but looking through, I mean, Reading are strong. I think they're going to be up there pushing for it. They're only just promoted. They could do well. James has built a good squad, as we know. I don't think the other promoted teams are going to do that well. I can't see Southend or Sunderland doing that well.
Kev, have you not seen Southend signings? Check the transfers today. They've just bought a load more.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay.
They've got a couple of coming in. They've got one of the strongest rated sides in the division now.
Yeah,
okay. I haven't checked today's transfers.
He's got 391s that I know of.
Yeah,
right.
There's more coming in.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is why it's such a difficult question, because people haven't finished with their dealings yet, have they? And who was the other one? So I just lost the page now. The other one I was looking at. You got the relegated sides as well. I think there's a decent chance that Bournemouth could get in the mix, but it's too close to call, and you can't say at the minute with all these signings still going on.
No, absolutely. Richie,
I've gone for firstly Southend, and I want to know how much investment money Glenn got, because they've been splashing their cash.
Yeah.
They haven't just been buying players. I mean, they've been buying them 91s, but they've been really overpaying on them. 8 million a go. So how much investment money did he get? Must have been over 30 million, surely, because he's got more coming in now as well.
I'm just looking. Sorry, I hadn't seen his transfers, but yeah, he's got like Miranda, Pepe, Louis, Subasic. Yeah, so strong team, but for only this season, I think.
Going on ratings, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they won the league. Now I've got Stoke to finish up there because they've got a really good squad as well. And thirdly, I don't think he'll get automatic promotion, but I think he'll definitely get playoffs. Will be James at Norwich. I think he overachieved last season. I think he'll do it again this season as well.
Yeah, good shout, Rich. Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, I said earlier, top two, Brighton and Stoke. Brighton have got a very powerful attack, and in the playoffs, I said Norwich, Palace. I can't remember the other two I said.
No, I can't now.
Who else is in there? Norwich, Palace. I said Bournemouth to miss out. Rangers
Bournemouth have got a better squad, I think.
Rangers.
Yeah, Swansea, Daniel Hughes. Not bad.
Swansea, Rangers, Palace, and Norwich. And I'm going to go with Norwich.
Yeah, good show. Jonny, you got him in front of you, mate, or is it a tricky one for you?
No, it's pretty much no.
Yeah.
I can pick some out. I think Brighton and Bournemouth will be up there, definitely.
Yeah.
Both good managers. I think they've got some brilliant squads because they went in late towards the end of the season and they were scrapping for their lives. So they brought some good players in before they went down. I think you can't write off. I'm not sure about his full squad if he's got enough depth. But Southend, you can't write them off with them signings.
Absolutely.
And I think Swansea might be some dark horse there.
Yeah,
he's brought a few good players in. Has he brought Robin Neverson and has he got Gomez up front?
Yeah, he's a good squad builder as well, isn't he, Daniel?
Yeah.
Very good. Mick, it's your turn, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. I was impressed with Bournemouth last year. I told you, I know what sort of money they're dealing with. He's made some savvy moves in transfer market this season, and I think Bournemouth had a good chance to go bounce straight back up. I think James at Norwich, steady squad building. He was there and thereabouts. I think he'll be certainly challenging for automatic. And I actually think I've been at Sheffield United. I'll have a good go, especially for playoffs. Especially for
Dunks, I think Greg at Middlesbrough's a good manager.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Greg Billington, yeah. Yeah. Totally agree with you there, mate. Right, we'll go on to Division 3 then. We'll skittle through. This is obviously my league, Kev's league, Richie's league at the moment as it stands. We'll start with you again then, Kev.
Well, I think Thumbs is going to want to do much better at Birmingham this season. Birmingham City this
Go on,
season.
Kev.
So I think he's going to. I think he's going to be up there challenging. I think he's swapped players around a bit and could do pretty well. Lots of people talking about Barnsley, I've noticed, the favourites in Gordon's. Gino's been doing these really good odds things on the Facebook page, and I think Rob said as well earlier on today, Barnsley, one of the favourites. I looked at Barnsley's squad earlier on, the entire squad. They've only got one player under 30, but if that gets them promoted, then I suppose it's job done. Plymouth, I don't know what's going to happen. They're changing manager, but I thought they should have done better last season with the team they've had. So maybe they'll be up there this time.
It's Andy Martin, isn't it? Andy's a pretty shrewd operator, isn't he?
Yeah, Colas took ages to get them going last season because they were much stronger than us, and I think we got a decent result near the start. But yeah, I mean they're going to be at Portsmouth as well. I think I checked earlier, and they had a squad. I actually think Division 3 is going to be the closest league.
I think it's good. I think it's looking really good. Yeah, I agree.
It's so close between teams. They're rating stuff now. I think it could just be little tweaks in tactics that decide it in the end.
Right. Well, I've got you, Kev. Then what are you fancying for the season of your club?
Well, as soon as the English review is over, I'm going to be making more changes. I've gone for higher rated rather than youth risers. I've still got a lot of youth. The average age of my squad's still young, but I've bought one or two. I won't say old guys because they're only 34, which is sort of oldish. It's not sort of 39-year-old on their last legs, but I think we can get certainly top half, maybe knocking on door of the playoffs. Yeah. I'd be happy with anywhere 6th to 10th, really. I suppose that's sort of the plan. My long-term plan with Bradford was always third season is when we'd start aiming for promotion. We'll build up until then and then go for it third season. So this season, as long as it's an improvement on last year, I'll be happy enough. But I think outside chance of the playoffs for us.
Richie, what do you think, mate?
Gone for Thumbs. I think he should wrap that league up quite comfortably. I'm looking at his squad, and he's got an amazing squad for Division 3, ain't he? I think Derry are going to do really well. I know they're a tiny club, but if you look at their ratings, they've got a very, very strong squad. Not just a starting 11, but a squad. Do you know what I mean? They've got a lot of good backup players as well. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they finished up there. And thirdly, it's such a toss-up between Millwall and Pompey. I rate both of their managers, and they've both got good squads. So, both of them are going to be up there as well. And like Kev said, I agree with him. I think Division 3 is going to be very close.
What's your thoughts on Blackburn this season then, Rich?
Playoffs. Playoffs. Looking at some of the teams around us, though, I mean, there's a few stronger teams now. So if we don't finish playoffs, it won't be a total surprise, but the target's definitely going to be playoffs. Plus, I think we'll get stronger as the season goes on because we've had a few risers which we will sell and try and reinvest. So we're going to make some good progress anyway.
Yeah. Mick, what's your pick, Division 4, mate?
Well, I think I rattled off about Millwall last year surviving and this and other, and I can only see the quality that a manager. I hate to say this because I know he don't explode and smoke up his own ass, but he is a good manager, Steve. Noisy. And I can only see that if he stops at Millwall, there's only one way he's going, and that's straight back up. Then again, Richie, there's managers that, people say, oh, you look at your squad, you look at this, you look at this. You look at Roche tonight, and sorry, Jonny, but you look at Roche tonight beating you in Charity Shield, yeah? And when you get a quality manager, sometimes, it don't matter what rating you get, they can turn a game around. And I think Richie, if he stops at Blackburn, will be challenging. Same with Barnsley manager. Same with Richie. I've done a decent one with Livingston manager. We'll see. But I think it'll be Millwall and Birmingham. And I think Richie will be challenging for third position, but will definitely get a playoff place. That's my opinion.
Jonny?
Yeah, I think Millwall, Blackburn, Barnsley and Birmingham.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't see anything past them, really. I might be being ignorant. I mean, I haven't looked at such as Derry's side, Richie's called them out. I don't know.
Well, I'm hurt. I am.
Sorry, mate. Are you in that league?
Mick, how do you fancy your own chances this season? What are you expecting to do?
I'm going to sum up ours now then, yeah. 2-year project. I'm sticking to the 2-year project. I've made a bright start, 14 games. I've lost 2 in 14 games, so I've made a bright start. I've not gone in for oldies. That's not how I was going to work. I'm just going to get better as the season goes on, and hopefully that's enough to keep me progressing. And then next season will be when I challenge. I said I'd evaluate when I've looked at all the squads, and I've evaluated, and I've been left behind. But that's a choice I've took, and I still think I've got enough there to stay up comfortably, and I want to be pushing top half.
Dunks, do you like being boss of Hibs? Is it a different challenge for you?
Loving it, mate. It's different. Exactly, totally different, and I'm loving that. And I will not be turned by any club. I'm here for the two more seasons, and then we'll see where we are. Absolutely. Right, so we'll move on now. Rob's division, Division 4. We'll start with you, Rob, as your Division 4.
Mate,
you're being
made. You didn't ask me about Division 3, but I did already say in the video earlier.
Yeah.
I'll just say Barnsley and Millwall will go up. And as I said earlier, and I think it will be Thumbs, Richie, Portsmouth and Plymouth in the playoffs. Yeah.
Go on then, Rob. We're starting Division 4, mate. It's your division. You've been made favourite by Gordon, Gino.
Yeah,
BetGordon.com.
Yeah. I've got a good squad, and I had when I took over Dundee last season, I had that time. Whereas everyone was waiting for their investment at the end of the season to start doing bits to their squad, I shaped my squad, and I've only bought one player in the pre-season. My squad was already ready. It's good to go. We'll be up there challenging. I'm really impressed with Billy Suit of Cork City. They're going to be up there. Gino, I'm not sure how much Gino looked into some of these teams, and I think he did it a little bit early because they've changed. But if you look at that Cork, I think they're going to be right up there, and I think Wrexham and I think Hammer are going to be right up there.
We praised Division 3 for its quality. I think Division 4's got a strong one as well. From when I first joined the game, well, Division 4 looks a lot stronger now. So
we never mentioned
all the new guys come into Division 4. It's the entry point, so you're getting a lot of really good guys. That's where they start. Yeah.
Richie, Division 4, mate.
I've gone for Rob. I think Dundee looking very strong in that division, and then Cork look very good. And it's a tough one to decide between Rotherham and Kilmarnock. I want to wait and see what Hammer does. I mean, if Hammer rips that team apart and then just brings in a lot of youth, then obviously he's not going to do much. But knowing Hammer, he'll have a lot of high rated there, and he'll still have them high rated.
Do you seriously think Hammer's going to go this season with a youth team?
That's what I'm waiting to see what he. That's what I'm waiting to see what he does.
I'm not buying it, mate. That team will be 86, 87 average rating.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
He's told Mick he wants an all Scottish team.
Yeah.
He wants everybody to be Scottish in his team.
Well, he'll finish last then.
Kev.
Hammer said he wanted an all Scottish team. Did he? Is that okay?
Kev.
I've just been looking at his team.
Kev, shut the fuck up. He's trying to buy a Scottish player off me and he's paying over odds. Shut it. Till deal's done. Done.
I won't upload the video until tomorrow. Don't worry.
Right.
He has brought in some young players, and some of those are 60 rated 17-year-old Scottish guys. But for his first team, the youngest player, 17 players in the first team, youngest player is 33. But he will have a high rated starting 11, looking like it'll be an average of 85, 86. So he's got to be a favourite for this season being up there, I think. And I think Rob, I think you've got to be one of the favourites. I've just been trying to go through the teams now, and you've got one of the strongest teams there. I think teams like Partick are going to struggle. Partick don't seem to have much going on, but.
Poor old Partick.
Why are we laughing at Partick?
Because
He's done a fantastic deal with me this week. I quite like our manager.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. Graham, he's a nice
Yeah, Lisandro Martinez come my way.
He's got a very young team. He's got 3 82 rated players, and the rest are all 78 and below. So I think he's gonna be, I think that must be a long-term project, which is fair enough. Can't get relegated from Division 4, but I think it's going to be between Hammer and Rob, to be honest. Every going through the rest, they all look fairly similar in terms of rating. So again, it'll be little tactical tweaks maybe.
Thanks. Can I come back on this when you've asked everyone?
Sure. We'll go Jonny next.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what people are saying. Hammer will probably be up there. If he's got 85, 86s, Rob's going to be up there. I like Cork. I think they're looking good. Can't see much beyond that, really.
No. Mick?
I think I'm whatever he I wish he'd take games seriously sometime, because he's a cracking manager. I mean, remember one game, World, he destroyed you all, and you were all like licking his boots or licking his dust, and
I weren't in that game, Will.
Bollocks, but what I'm
I've
saying
never
is,
licked his boots.
I actually think he's a good manager when he puts his mind to it. He goes on his little fairy tales and this, that, and other. He wants this, and he goes in his old golden hole. But I think he'll come good this time. I mean, I think player he's got off for me is only going to rise. Is that? Let me have a look. It's. I've had him out on loan all season.
It's not Patterson, is it? Callum Patterson?
Yeah.
It's just had a rise.
No, but I think he's scoring goals for Cardiff. He's in Premiership. He's playing every game, scoring goals. God knows what position he plays, because he's got that many positions across his name. I don't know.
Sorry, Robbie, camera slipped, mate. I can only see the top of your head.
Sorry, thanks. Yes.
I mean, he even classes as a centre forward and a right back.
He started at Hearts as a right back, but I think Cardiff have converted him to a midfielder, and he's been playing up front a few times as well. So he's one of the versatile players that can pretty much play anywhere.
Anyway, he's put a bid in for him. Obviously, I'm willing to get shorty what a previous manager's bid and make a profit, and I need that money elsewhere. So I can't see anything wrong with Hammer's mentality that way. Until he buys his players, and then I'll say otherwise.
Before I go back to Rob, then I've just got one guy who hasn't had a shout out, and that was Paul Crowther, Motherwell. I think now they'll be dangerous this year.
Yeah, and Rotherham's a big side in that club, in that division. Rotherham.
Yeah. Go on then, Rob, you wanted to have another
Yeah,
word on.
because when people make all these predictions, you make it based on what you can see right now. So you don't know what the teams are going to look like in a few weeks' time. Now, I know what I'm going to be doing with my team, so I know that I won't be first or even second. But that sounds like gamesmanship and mind games, me saying that. But I'm selling all the players that come off their TVs, and I'm basically prioritising, a bit like Kevin, Thumbs and a few others. But my concentration and priority is on the squad value. I want to keep increasing that. And because of that, my team will take hits throughout the season. I'm not going to be aggressive in terms of the ratings. Now, you look at the likes of Pablo, Maggio, Hammer, Billy, Suter at Cork. They're going just for predominantly high-rated players. They're going to be at the top end of the table. They're not bothered about the look of their team, to be honest. I know Hammer says he's going down a youth route, but I'm not having it. So they're going to be at the top end of the table. Because of I might be in the playoffs, I don't know. But then you've got the likes of Motherwell, like you said, Glenavon, Rotherham under Warren are going to be solid. And I think there's a temptation, and you were alluded to this earlier, Dunks, about you're not going to get deterred. And what you're saying is basically, it doesn't matter what other people are doing, but you're not going to get swayed by other people and start buying old players that you really don't fancy just to keep up with the Joneses. You're going to stick to your plan. And that's what I'm going to do with Dundee. So as soon as some of my solid players come off TV, they're going, and I'm going to try and bring the age right down. I want a young, vibrant team, and I want squad. That's what I wanted to say. But people won't know that, so they'll look at the squads right now and they'll automatically see that Dundee are favourites, and I would as well. If I was one of you guys, I'd say, yeah, Dundee squad, yeah.
Right, lads, there's another huge thing happened since last time we was on.
Can I just mention something, Dunks?
Yeah, go on, then, mate.
I'm going back to Lawngate now.
Right.
Yeah. It's all been
still raw, Mick.
Yeah, but it's still raw, because all the onus were put on us, and I mentioned to it, alluded to it in another thing, to put on the teams to look for the small teams if they deserved it. It's the small teams that should be looked. Are they going to play them players 50%? Right. I've had managers apply for loans from my team. Yeah. I've looked at the squad, looked that they need them. Check that the 50% rate. As soon as the game resets, come in for him, you can have him. Right? I've agreed the loan deal. The game's reset, 48 hours, even more after the game's reset, they're still applying for loans. I'm then getting. I know you did, Kev. I'm not alluding to you. I'm alluding to other managers.
Okay. We're talking about Division 4 clubs now. We got told that Division 4 clubs should be sorted out. So we were waiting for these little Division 4 clubs to come in, and they've never come in. Some Division 4 clubs have come in, and I've lent to them, but not the smaller clubs.
Then they don't get the players. It's as simple as that.
No, I'm not alluding to that, Rob. What I'm alluding to is I've done deals with managers.
Yeah.
Right, before the end of the season, that as soon as the season resets, that player's yours. When the season reset, even 48 hours after the season reset, they haven't come into for the player that's been agreed. Then other managers have come into loan, and I'm not turning them down. I think that Viat Gap put a thing saying, if you're going to reject me, don't just leave me on hold. And the reason why managers are leaving them on hold is because they're leaving them on hold because they might get them, because these guys who have agreed are not coming in for the loan straight away.
Well,
Mick, I think
they're not applying for them.
Then they should miss out. Then there shouldn't be an indefinite time frame for them.
Yeah, but the problem is then they'll go to you and James and saying I agreed a loan and he's not loaned him to me. And I'll
say, won't go to me, Mick. They won't go to me. They'll go to James. He's the game.
No, but you understand, after 48 hours of waiting and somebody else comes in, you're having to not reject this guy because...
It's not hard though, is it, lads? Me and Jonny arranged the loan. Jonny, it was done like clockwork, weren't it, Jonny?
Yeah, it's the same. Me and Mick had a loan arranged, and I put a bid in 2 or 3 days ago. Whenever the season went over, I put a bid in, and that was accepted and job done.
Yeah, it's not right.
Well, we negotiated. We talked about it, Kev, didn't we?
Yeah.
As soon as game world reset, you put a bid in, and I accepted it. That's what I expect all managers to do. If they're going to talk with me, and they're going to talk with a manager about a loan, and we're going to agree this loan, then within 48 hours at season resetting, they should be applying for that loan. Like Kevin,
I agree.
And they're not. They're pissing about.
Well, then they shouldn't. They don't deserve the loans. It's a simple.
Yeah, but then it's all going to kick off saying he promised me this loan and he's loaned him to somebody else.
Well, I'm wondering if people have just spoken to several clubs and got agreements for half a dozen players. So they're kind of making their mind up still. I don't know.
Kevin, you did it spot on.
Well, I've got all my loans in. I did that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't wait for them, Mick. If you've agreed a loan,
I don't think it'll kick off, Mick. I think it's their own problem.
Yeah, I do as well, mate. Yeah, I agree.
But you're all right saying, well, then he's going to go to James and go to Robin saying he promised me this loan.
I don't run the game well, Mick. You keep saying me. I don't run this game well.
But what? No. But what I'm saying is you understand where I'm coming from. You're trying to play things, and then there's other guys wanting them, and you're having to like hold them off or turn them away when they're not going to. I had a guy come today, and he come to buy a player, and again a guy's promised me to purchase this player. And this go anyway. I says I can't sell him to you because this guy's. We've already agreed a deal. This guy hasn't put money forward. And then I said, look, time's ticking now. He hasn't put a bid forward. Do you still want him? He says, I've spent my money now on somebody else.
Right.
So what do you fucking do? and then it's all fucking first division guys' problem because we're all wankers and we're laying all lower divisions down. And they're playing fucking marbles with me bollocks.
Mick, I absolutely have loved it in other game worlds where you've been a lower league team slagging off all these first division teams, and now you're complaining about all the first division teams getting slagged off.
Karma, Kev, karma.
Right, lads. Well, one more thing we're on, lads. Rob, do you want to comment on your post this week?
Which one?
The one where you put a bid in, and then another team put a bid in. Then he pulled out. So you pulled out, and then he pulled out, and it kept going on and on and on.
Well, the bloke, the dickhead. What do you want me to say? It's look, we got. I don't know. Dunks, what you do to me? You get me in trouble. We got a game world. We got a community, right? We're supposed to have. It's competitive. We're all trying to win. I get that, but you don't be a prick. And for me, the guy's a prick. I thought he was a prick anyway. But you don't do things like that. If you have got no interest in a player, why are you playing silly buggers? It's time wasting. Now, I've sent you the screenshots, Dunks. I've sent James the screenshots. You saw what happened. You saw what went on.
That's the reason I brought it up. It's not a witch hunt. It's infuriating. It's one of the worst.
But the guy was taking the blatant piss. And, a few people might find that funny. But what's the point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's infuriating.
What can I say about it? I don't understand how the guy can even argue it, to be honest. So, what can I say?
I don't know. Is there anything being done about it? Is there any arguing going on, or is it?
No, he withdrew his bid, and the player is now in Dundee's youth team. But that's to be honest. I said to James, it's not even the point about the player; it's the principle that this guy thinks that this is okay. This is the way to behave. This is the sort of behaviour that goes on in these shitty standard game worlds where you don't know anyone and everyone treats each other like a prick and behaves like a keyboard troll. And this is the sort of thing that goes on in gold game worlds where it's like the Wild West, but not in a tight-knit community where there's meant to be a level of etiquette and respect. And I just think one or two people just don't really fully understand what it is to be in a game world like this.
Do you think...
And me and this particular person disagree on just about everything anyway. So,
I think the point needs to be raised.
Do you think some of these players they've gone to these gold game worlds, like you said, Wild West, and they bring these attitudes in from them, and they just need reforming?
No, I don't think that, Mick. I think what you've got a case of is you've got soccer managers been around a few years, and you've got certain people think that they're soccer manager royalty. And times have changed and game worlds have evolved. And some of these people haven't. They're stuck in the dinosaur dark ages. This particular one person, I find him quite arrogant, to be honest. But there you go. I wouldn't do that to anybody.
Can you remember that? Can you remember that game called Guess Who?
Hey,
And you'd
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
does he wear a hat? Has he got glasses? Has he got facial hair?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right,
I'll give you a clue, Jonny, right? You know he's talking rubbish when his mouth moves.
right, lads.
That could be a lot.
That
though,
narrow
that.
it
Got
down.
one major point I want to discuss now, lads. This is quite a big point because it's a big rule change in the game world. Okay, we've not done a show since, so it needs a bit of airtime. Okay, James has introduced seconds for the bottom three clubs, so it needs discussing. You know, it's a huge point. It's a huge change in the game world, and I want to get your thoughts on it. And we'll start with Richie on this one. Rich, what do you think to it, mate?
I think it's a great idea. I think it will make everyone more competitive. Also, I see a lot of people worried about it, and I do understand like the Division 2 teams going up for Division 1. Obviously, they should be worried because chances are they are going to finish in the bottom three. But James made it clear that, you know, if you do finish in the bottom three, but you're active and you've been trying and you haven't completely messed your club up, you can reapply and you get your job back. So I don't think anyone has to really be worried. It's the only people that have to worry is if you're just inactive, you don't bother your ass and you finish in the bottom three, then obviously you're gone. That's the way I see it anyway.
Yeah. Kev?
Yeah, well, I kind of agree with Richie there. The only thing I would say is maybe the conditions of what happens if you are bottom three and you do get sacked. How do you get your job back and all that, and what goes into it? All that perhaps needs to be written down. I know it's made certain clubs change their policy and perhaps buy older, higher rated players. I've changed mine a bit. I only had between 2.5 and 3 million to spend, and I bought 3 34-year-olds with it because I can't risk getting relegated. So and all the smaller teams in the division have done the same. They've bought older, higher rated players. So I think it's changed a few people's long-term plan, which again it might not be a bad thing if it makes it more competitive, but does it stop the sort of squad building that some people are doing? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. But maybe the conditions for keeping your job, even if you get relegated, need to be sort of made clear so that everyone knows and can make their own sort of mind up what to do then.
Well, Rob, what do you think, mate?
Well, I know what's going to happen. I can shed light on what Kev's saying. If you're a manager, say, for example, let's take an example, Danny Cogger at Bohemian last year. It's clear what his plan is. He came bottom of the league. In this situation, if he would lose his job because he's come 20th, he would reapply and he would get his job because James wants people taking care of their team, the long-term health. Managers that are going to get sacked and probably not even stay in the game world, and managers that are not active, don't post, don't do much for the game world, and have got a pretty dire team. You know, it's pretty much common sense. We don't need to overcomplicate this. James is going to make the right decisions. Trust me.
Very good. Mick?
As a target-based league, I think as all managers, we know that there's other target-based leagues that are pretty keen. I don't think we should make TFSL a repetition of other game worlds. I understand James' policy of giving managers a chance to move up and move down and to aspire to better things. I fully understand that, but if you look at the managers, including today, the Chelsea manager moving out of his position, there is quite a lot of opportunities in this game world in first season to actually move up and move in. I mean, how many managers on this panel tonight started off as an original member at TFSL?
I did.
I know I'm one. Are you?
No,
Dunks?
No.
I know Richie did. I know Richie didn't, and I know Kev didn't.
I did. I did. I was
did
there.
you start off as original?
I've been.
But there's quite a few managers in this game world now that didn't start off as original members. So there is quite a bit of natural fluidity in game world. You know what I mean, Dunks?
Yeah, there was a big
we don't want a repetition at certain game worlds. They've got their own agenda. I fully agree with that, but we don't want just 2 game worlds being exactly the same. But we need...
In a way, it's not target-based, is it, Mick? It's totally different.
No.
It's not target-based.
But we do need opportunities for managers to move up and down, which I think, needs to be done.
Can I come in there?
Yeah, go on, Rob.
Yes.
Yeah, Mick, I'm listening to you, but I don't agree with you, mate. It's not the same as other game worlds. You're talking about NYT, and NYT is a brutal, ferocious target-based game world. This is a twist. Yeah. It's the bottom 3, and even in that bottom 3, the majority of those bottom 3, there's a good chance they're going to retain their job. All it is keeping people on their toes. It's promoting activity, and it is a good way of getting rid of 1 or 2 deadwood. It is. It's a brilliant idea. It's a win-win. I'm
not disagreeing with you, Rob. I'm not. You're trying to make it so I'm disagreeing. What I'm trying to say is I don't want it turning into other game worlds. We all have as unique game worlds, and they all have the identity.
But I don't think it is. NYT and TFSL have 2 unique concepts. They're both different.
Yeah, Jonny? And I like to keep it that way. I'm sure Rob will intervene, even if such as Arsenal or Manchester City or Liverpool are not being run well, just like he has done with Chelsea, and he will intervene if these certain clubs are not being run well, and ask them to leave of their own accord.
Chelsea was nothing to do with me. He got sacked by James. I didn't sack him.
No, I did say James. I'm just saying I do say even James, if there's certain levels, he will intervene with some at top clubs as well if they're not performing or the social activity is not enough, and he will intervene. But I don't think we need replicants at certain game worlds. That's all I'm saying.
Right, Jonny. What are you saying, mate? What do you think?
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's a good way of weeding out inactives, because if you're inactive and you just let your team drift and you end up in bottom 3 and you're gone, then you're not going to get your job back.
Exactly.
I think it's great. I really do. I think it's going to make people be so much more competitive. It's untrue.
That's right.
Right, Jonny.
But just because you finish at bottom 3 doesn't mean to say you're inactive. It just means to say you're fucking wank at managing.
Right, lads. Let's round up everything I wanted to say tonight or bring up. But I'm going to go around now. If any of you got anything to say, we'll start with you, Kev. You got anything to add tonight?
No, I don't think so. I didn't make notes.
No. Anything you want to say, Rich?
Nah, I think we covered most of it.
Jonny?
Maybe we didn't have time for it, but I was a bit shocked that we've done top 3 for every league, but we didn't do bottom 3.
Bottom 3.
Yeah. Well, we'll look at that next week, I think.
Well, you did, didn't you? You said Arsenal were bottom 3.
Yeah. That's a cert, that.
The Chelsea thing took up a bit more time than expected, so...
Hold on, let me see if there's any more candidates there before we go, quickly.
Yeah. Mick, Rob, sorry, let's go to you first, Rob. You got anything you want to say before the season kicks off?
He's always got something to say.
No, I haven't, actually. I'm all
out. Mick?
I'd just like to finish with, I think Rob's a love god for going to Bangkok and going to all the lady boys. Well done, Rob.
I've got one thing to say before we go, lads, and I just want to say to Anthony Roach, get well soon, mate. You're fighting, and that's it's brilliant, mate. We was all saddened to hear the news earlier in the week, and we're all great warmth from your fight, and you're still fighting. You're still on SM, and you're still kicking ass by the look at tonight's result. So keep getting better, Ant. You missed. You're one of us, mate. You're one of us, pal, and.
We all will be behind him, Dunks, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, every manager.
And that rounds it up, lads, for me tonight. I'm done on that one. Okay, thanks for coming on, guys. I want to wish everyone good luck Sunday. The big kickoff's finally arrived. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing all the great posts. Let's see what season 2 brings, lads, yeah? Thanks for coming on, Rob. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Jonny.
Cheers, lads.
See you
Cheers,
lads.
guys.
See you later.
Later.